All right, I'm just a few minutes early. I wanted to go ahead and crank it up so people can know we're going live. I still got a couple of minutes before I'm scheduled to go live. I have looked all over. Hey, Bryson. I have looked all over for my hat this morning. I've got, and no telling how many hats I've got, but I failed to find any. Bryson from Hayden Farms has hopped on, a few more, several on. They're just not commenting. I want y'all to comment. Hey, gather together. Hold on just a second. I remembered. I got your name written down because I would forget it. Glenn and Jessica. Glenn and Jessica gather together, Homestead. Good morning to you as well. Charity, momming with Charity, can't stay long, but here for a burr. I don't know, but here for a bit. Camp Silky, thank y'all for coming. Tiny Tim, appreciate you coming. Bryson from Hayden Farms was one of the first ones to speak up. There's Krubby the Beagle. There's Heather with Garden to Table with Heather Lynn. Spring Meadow. Well, hold on just a second. Let me show y'all what Spring Meadow sent me. Deborah sent me some turmeric. I got white, orange, and black. And I've never planted turmeric, but I waited to plant it so I could put it on this live and show everybody. Thank you so much, Deborah. That means a whole lot to us that you would do that. Mr. Blue Collar, he's waiting patiently. He had Trinity with him, but she just left. She just run off and left. But I'm sure she'll be back. Roberta, how in the world are you this morning? So good to see you. Miss Lisa from Yogi Hollow Farm. She's saying hello to everybody. Everybody. Y'all, I have psyched myself up this morning. I went in there and there was a song that, of all places at church Sunday, I got in my head, and I couldn't remember exactly how it went, but I knew kind of some of the words, and it just drove me crazy. So I come home, I Googled it, found out what it was. It was on a movie called That Thing You Do. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. If you hadn't seen that movie, get out and see it. You got to see it. It's a fantastic movie, but they had a song in it, and it said something about come on, something, and I never could figure it out. Well, I looked it up. It's called Dance With Me. Dance With Me Tonight or something like that. Anyway, running trucker Dan, waiting to get unloaded. Yeah, Dan, he drives a truck and stays busy. Got a cool bed on one of his trucks. It's it walks like that. It gets things out. Tiny Tim, Posey. There's Mr. Steven, Mr. Boots and Bounty. Appreciate y'all coming, Mr. Boots. They had their live. Oh, he's doing a live. I think it's with Mr. Boots and Bounty. I think it's with that channel itself. Doing live tonight for Tim Ridge Life, Watch and Grow or something like that. It's at 7:00. Stephen, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Also, Charity, Momming with Charity, has a live at 8 Central, and Tim or Stevens is at 7 Central, and his will probably go a couple hours because they're doing that Watch and Grow. So y'all don't want to miss that. Appreciate you putting up some of these links. Y'all check out the links. And y'all know I get all over the place. When I'm looking at the chat and I'm trying to talk, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Waiting on a snowstorm to hit. Speaking of snowstorm, I was kind of worried. Hey, Jess, appreciate you coming. Lazy days ahead. Y'all go check them out as well. They live in the high life over there, running around in their RV, driving all over, visiting people. I done skipped Miss Leanne. And if I've skipped you, I apologize. But hold on, let me get down. Okay, Watch and Grow will be an hour since that is what he usually runs. Okay, y'all can go over there and watch Mr. Boots and Bounty, the Watch and Grow at 7 o'clock on his channel, and then skip right on over and go to Mommy with Charity. And she's got somebody over there. And she's got Miss Yogi Holland. And if I don't get you up here on the screen, I apologize because sometimes this thing goes a little bit faster than I'm able to do it. Anyway, I was a little bit worried because I was a little, hey there, Jilly and Carrie, Belly Acres number 3. I was a little nervous because I was looking at the radar. Are y'all all right up there, Tim and Trinity? Y'all, okay. I seen the radar. It looked like y'all was getting some pretty rough weather. So I said, well, they may not be able to get up here. In fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. Since we got quite a few people in here, I'm going to go ahead and get them up just in case the weather goes south on us. All right. That way you don't have to just listen to me talk. Y'all are coming for the main attraction. So if you would stand up like we always do, put your hands together, and let's welcome Blue Collar Homestead, Tim and Trinity. How are y'all doing? Y'all doing all right?
We're going to turn this a little.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you good.
Okay, we got to adjust this here a little bit. There we go. That's
hey, adjust away. There's old Nick.
There we go.
From AZ. Can y'all see the chat?
No, not really. Well, Tim has it on his phone.
Okay, Tim has it on his phone. So, but the reason I ask is sometimes people can't see the chat, and they don't know sometimes what I reference to and all that, or sometimes people ask y'all questions or say something to y'all, and I just want to know if I need to flip it up on the screen and all that kind of good stuff. It don't really matter because I'll probably forget anyway. Y'all doing good? Y'all that storm getting y'all pretty good?
It is, and I will warn you, the lights here have flickered a couple times, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I worried about that when I seen that. I seen that line of storms coming up y'all's way. I was kind of worried. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about Mr. Blue Collar and Miss Blue Collar over there, Tim and Trinity. They were one of the first channels I seen. And I went back and I looked, and I want to say it's been about 3 months ago. The very first video I watched of y'all, and I don't know how I watched it. I don't know if it was on like a small homesteader YouTube channel or just somehow I come across it. Was you was building a trough for the goats. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah, and I remember doing that. And I at that time I didn't think nothing about it. I was just, I was very, very new to all this as far as the YouTube community, getting on, chatting with people, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was very young and naive, and now I'm old and naive. But I went back and looked, and my dog is out there just barking at something. He's just going to have to bark. I went back and looked. If I remember right, it was like y'all started about 11 months ago. Is that right? Okay. Well, that's as far back as the videos went. And the very first video that I seen y'all put out was one that you built a seed grower. What do you call that? Inside for the inside to start seeds.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I'd say we're probably about 2 weeks away from dragging that back out and doing the same thing again with all the seed starts.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I say that one more time.
So we're about 2 weeks away from dragging that thing back out, setting it back up, and starting our seeds for this year's garden. So
I got you. So you got a place you put it and just to keep it out of the way. That was like you had ball bearing row guides, whatever you call them.
They're ball bearing drawer glides. Now, the main reason we started doing like the seed starts ourselves is because with the amount of stuff that we plant, if I had to go buy all those, it would have been like well over $1,000 worth of plants. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money. The stuff I did myself was I don't know, $20 worth of seeds and some dirt.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
And nowadays it's getting kind of hard to, at least over here in Purvis, some of the places I used to go to get seeds and get plants and stuff. It's hit and miss. You don't know if you're going to get them or not.
We buy early.
Yeah, you got it. We usually buy our seeds in
fall,
like October.
Yeah.
If you wait until Christmas, you're out of luck. They're sold out already. Usually about October, early November. We usually order them online. We've got them from Baker Creek. We've got them from M.I. Gardner. We got some from Haas Tools.
Yeah.
So a couple different places we go to get stuff from.
I started, and I never thought about it until last year. Of course, I've been gardening all my life, but I had never just done it from seed and all that kind of stuff. But, and I started realizing the need to get like heirloom seeds and stuff that I can have something that I know what I'm getting from the seed that I gather from my plants and stuff. There's a question here. Is there anything you did to prepare for future emergencies after the last tornado touchdown at the gas station right near your home?
We didn't really change anything that we prepared, but we are looking into getting a storm shelter. They are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And with the craziness of the world right now, from what I gather, they're even further out than they normally are because of all the craziness going on and all the shortages of everything. So we've started looking into that. We haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but like I said, it is expensive. But
it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's better than flying away though and landing God knows where,
Yeah, but otherwise, I think we had everything. We have a means to keep the lights or the freezers cold, and the wood burning stove to keep us warm. So I think we're pretty well prepared, other than not having a storm shelter.
Yeah, if the house blows away, all your preparations are gone.
Yeah.
That's true. Y'all, I was noticing on one video, I think he was getting ready for a snowstorm, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was snow because y'all had to go outside and prepare everything outside. And
that was ice, actually.
Yeah,
ice.
Yeah, it was ice.
Yeah. It was hilarious to me because you said something about, y'all had like tornadoes and then ice storm, and then y'all had several things in a row. And you said, I guess the next thing's an earthquake.
Hey, I'm sticking to that one. March is going to be an earthquake. That's my prediction. I've already had everything else. And you know what? We might have more ice coming, I think, this Thursday.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
About a half an inch of ice.
A half an inch of ice is enough to screw everything up and rip down the power lines and, make chaos again. So this winter has been ridiculous with the weather around here. It's just one thing after another, man.
Like today's going to be 71.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is going to be like 45.
Yeah.
We're
supposed to get like 5 inches of precipitation in the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. As I know down here, we're South Mississippi. We're just a little bit below y'all. We're probably about 5 hours below y'all. And, maybe. How far are y'all from Tupelo?
Oh, we're about 2 hours north of Memphis. I can tell you that.
Oh, then you're a little bit further away than I thought, because Tupelo is about 4 hours from me.
Oh,
so
wow.
You got another probably 2.5, 3 hours, I guess. Up there to where y'all are. Hold on just a second. Well, hit the wrong button. The thing said, Riley says, "Hey, that's my grandbaby."
Well, hello, Riley.
Hello.
And also we have Happy Hen, Linda, I believe. Well, I don't know. I get to hitting these buttons, and there we go. Happy Hen Homesteaders. I just become familiar with her over there. Camp Silky, just become familiar with them, and I'm just tickled to death. Garden Table with Heather Lynn up there, way up north, and she knows about that fluctuating weather too. Keeps on flip flopping. But y'all, y'all have had some crazy weather up there. Everything goes a little bit north of us. Of course, we get hurricanes, but
we get the leftovers from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't like hurricanes. Let me ask you a question. Blue Collar Homestead. The name to me is pretty much self-explanatory, but was it supposed to be that way? I mean, it's just like get your hands dirty type mentality.
Pretty much. I mean, I work for a living with my hands. I mean, I'm a blue collar guy, just like you probably are too. So why not run with it?
No, I get it. I try my best to stay away from all that hard labor.
You know what? I'm 45 right now, and I'm starting to lean that way too, where it's like, it's me and one other guy that we work together, and he's 63, and we're kind of like, you know what? We're gonna pick and choose the jobs we want to do. All the harder stuff we're not gonna do anymore. We're gonna do the stuff that doesn't break your back as much. We're getting older. He just had a hip replacement. I just had my elbow, my hand fixed. Yeah.
Y'all are falling apart up there. Y'all got tornadoes.
We're not going to do the hard stuff no more.
But we're okay. We're okay.
You're okay. Yeah. Well, I understand. I'm 54 years old. And when I turned 40, see, my wife is like 6.5 years younger than I am. When I turned 40, my eyesight started going bad. My hair started leaving. I started waking up in the mornings complaining. She had fussed at me. Chuck, that's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. I said, no, it's in my joints.
Yeah.
And and then she turned 40 and she started complaining. So I turned it back on her.
Of course.
You had surgery on Tim. You had surgery on your arm. You had carpal tunnel.
I had carpal tunnel, and I had a torn tendon in my elbow. So anytime I would try to grab something like tight, I'd feel this massive pain in my elbow. So it's fixed. I'm still dealing with it a little bit, but it's nowhere near like it was before the surgery. But it's not 100% yet. So we'll see.
It's going to take a while for all that to get back to normal, I imagine.
Well, it's been about 4 months, I think, right? So.
Yeah.
But still, from what I understand, especially with your elbow, I don't know about the carpal tunnel. But the elbow, I know people sometimes it just lingers on and on, especially with the type of work that you do. If you aggravate it, it's just. I'm just a world of encouragement, aren't I?
You know what though? Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Well, we've been through the ringer, so we're kind of prepared for anything.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the more people you meet, people do all different kinds of things, but I mean, we were getting stuff from this guy over in Kenton. What were we buying from him? I think it was apples last year. We bought apples from this guy. This guy was a truck driver for like his whole life. He owned a moving company, had like 10 or 15 semis, and he moved furniture for offices and houses basically his whole life. He retired and he moved over here. And now he's like, you know what? I did all this moving furniture and drove a truck all these years. And he's like, now I got my small farm and I grow apples and tomatoes and I sell all this stuff. And he's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, this is the easiest job I've ever had. He said, moving furniture and driving a truck and getting beat up all them years. He's like, I wish I would have done this from day one.
So that's for the birds, huh? Well, and plus it helps when you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a large scale, like thousands of acres of farming either, though. He's just more of a hobby farm, I think,
Yeah. Charity, I understand. Charity is starting to, she bakes like cakes and cookies and stuff. And, but she also has 2 small children that's at home. And so she stays at home and she does all of this at the house. and they opened a restaurant up here in a little town close to her. And the lady that's over it asked her to do cakes and cookies and stuff like that. And she started not to do it because she's got her youngest son has Down syndrome, and he has to have a little extra care.
Right.
And but the lady talked with her and said she'd work with her any way she could, and so she has to go to a meeting for that. That's why she's having to leave early. But all right, Trinity. How do you keep Tim straight? I mean, I watch y'all's videos. I'm glad Blenda's not watching this.
That's funny.
Y'all have a lot of fun. It looks like when y'all are doing things together, and I enjoy that. I like, me and Blenda, we work together, and of course, she's not very camera friendly. I don't know if that's the word. She looks good, but she just don't like being in front of the camera too much.
I don't either.
Yeah, really. I'd have never known it.
No, I don't either. Took me a while at first, but now I'm still like.
Well, if you notice our first video, that seed rack, the first, I don't know how many videos, it was just me in the videos.
Yeah.
Tim kind of jumped in later.
Yeah.
She wasn't sure about it. But, the main reason for us doing this is to kind of document what we're doing. We can go back later and watch old videos and not store them all on our phone, So
right.
If it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watch Phil from Peterson Farms in Nashville. He always makes that statement that he says hello, to all his whatever. He said, and also to the future generation. And he's thinking ahead to like his grandkids and stuff watching it. And I agree with that. That's kind of the reason we started.
That's a great idea. Yeah, for sure.
And, I think more about that kind of stuff nowadays than I used to because I'm getting older, I reckon. But
well, you know what? We're all getting older. And you know what? Putting all this stuff on YouTube, like I said, and putting these videos out there, and you can go back and watch it later. The only thing that nobody's talking about is what if this whole thing crashes and YouTube is no more and everything that you put out there is just wiped out and gone. All your pictures are gone. All your videos are gone. And everybody's getting away from having hard copies of stuff. So, hopefully it doesn't happen, but with the craziness we're living in nowadays, I don't know. You might wake up tomorrow and whatever stores all this stuff on the internet might just be wiped out. You don't know. It happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
My daughter, Charity, she, hey, Amy. I'm sorry. I wanted to speak to Amy from Raising Ronies. My daughter talked me into getting an external hard drive. You just plug it into your computer. Now, I'm computer illiterate. Very much.
Join the club. We are too. At least I am.
This thing has, ain't no telling how many videos you can put on it. It's probably more than I'll ever do. And if I do run out of space, hopefully I can go find me another one. But I got to turn my head this way so my hair's not sticking out. There it is.
You want to borrow some of my hair?
I might need to. I don't have much hair up here.
I got plenty. See?
Straighten him out, Trinity. No, one thing I did notice on your on that very first video, you walked through the house and you mentioned you showed some things that you built. And I'm just to say, is that what you do? You in construction, you build things?
Well, what we do is actually I've been in construction, probably 25 years. Mostly remodeling.
Probably more.
But since I moved here 5 years ago, the guy I work with is actually from the same area of Illinois that we came from, which is kind of funny. We had to come all the way down here to meet, but we started working together, and now I got into building custom cabinets, custom furniture. A whole bunch of stuff now. So, and it's kind of nice because now when I I need a piece of furniture. I just go over there with a tape measure, and I need this piece of furniture to be 43.5 inches long. And you know what? I make it to fit that
You
spot.
build it yourself. With
Well,
the price,
it looks cooler than the stuff in the store, and it's not made out of particle board. It's not going to fall apart the second you look at it the wrong way.
yeah,
And it's basically probably going to last me the rest of my life because it's all solid wood. You know?
right.
So,
Yeah.
And you know what? In the end, I probably spent the same amount of money as the particle board junk.
Yep.
But it's built out of solid wood, and it's probably going to last 30 or 40 years. It's going to be a future antique is what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
And plus, you know, I think, you know, years down the road, your family you got a daughter, you know, it might be something that she would be sentimental to as well.
It's funny. I just built her a dresser with a desk in between it. I didn't put that video out yet, but that might be coming. I did a little bit of a video on that.
Right. Well, I've done some of the same stuff. I built my daughter her own dresser and some shelves, of course, and some little table, and we got a little entertainment center. You know, odd and end things like that. I got tired of it, to be honest with you. I got tired of building big things, and because you know, I guess the thrill to me is learning how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, once I learn how to do it, the thrill is gone. So I got into a wood lathe. I got a wood lathe, and hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I got into a wood lathe, or I got a wood lathe rather, and I can't do two things. I'll answer that later. Stephen, if you would, if you're still in here, I don't know if you're still in here. You had to go back to work, but if you would, you can post all that on the chat. The things about the homestead, Heartland Homestead, the picnic.
Would you go to that?
Would I go to that Heartland Homestead? When is it? It's up in Kentucky.
Yeah,
it's in Kentucky.
Grand Rivers, Kentucky, I think it is. We went last year and we met a bunch of people there. And that was actually kind of weird because we literally, I think, just started our channel, or we weren't.
Soon after, yeah.
Yeah, it was soon after. So it was like we didn't know anybody there.
We met Boots and Bounty up there. And
yeah, Simply Jam was there.
Illinois Canarum was there. And
it was pretty cool to go there and meet up.
Come.
It was a cool crowd.
Blenda and I actually talked about it September the 10th. Is what Stephen said. September the 10th, Blenda and I talked about it. See, our anniversary is in July. We got married on July 4th, literally, so I could remember it. But July 4th is super, super hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't plan that, you know. I just was thinking, well, if I'm going to remember this thing for the next 100 or so years, I better put it on a date I can remember. And but anyway, I didn't think that through. But so every year for our anniversary, we wait, you know, till later on in the year, September, October, most time around October because it's a little bit cooler. And we just take off driving. We'll go somewhere. We'll don't have a plan or anything. We don't have a destination really. We just go and try and go see a lot of new towns, a lot of small towns. But we talked about it. We talked about going up there this September, kind of make it like our anniversary trip just to get away. And I would really love it. I really would. I think I loved meeting everybody. I'd even comb my hair for that.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
We had fun.
Yeah, we had fun there. It's actually not that far from us. It's I don't know, like an hour and 20 minutes from us.
Oh, that's all it is?
Yeah, for us, it's not a bad drive. I mean, we go there, do it, you know, hang out with everybody, and then drive back home. But you know, they're setting up a block of hotel rooms and all that other stuff. So I mean,
yeah.
Boots and Bounty's live last night. He was talking about all the information on it.
Yeah.
Right.
We put up the link somewhere in here.
Let's see. Right here is the link. Here's the link to the Facebook group event page.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look at that after I get done with this. Teresa from Stringfield
Mhm.
Farms or whatever it's called. The Quality Inn is offering $62.50 a night. Seriously, I think we'd have so much fun just meeting people and getting off. And now I'm not driving. Let's see, if it's about 7 hours, probably 7, 8 hours. It'd be probably about, well, I could probably cut straight up. It'd probably be about 8 hours or so.
That's not bad.
Well, it is when you when you meet. But we would probably cut it in a couple of days. Just go up there somewhere, find a place to spend the night. Maybe go up to Tupelo and spend the night, and then drive the rest of the way. Because we don't ever get in a hurry. I'm not a get in a hurry type person. So if I got to be in a hurry, then I'm in a bad mood, and Blenda don't like me in a bad mood.
Can't say I blame
her. Mom was doing a gathering each year in Wiggins, but then COVID hit, and they've not gotten back to doing them. The mom she's talking about is Deep South Homesteads, Danny and Wanda down there, and that would be cool to have. I'd like to have something down here, Amy. Just to meet people. Nick says that ain't a bad price. Anyway, I'm getting way, 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 way off topic. You started about 11 months ago. Yep. Why in the world, like you said, you just wanted to get started because to kind of document things and
kind of document things on our journey of doing this whole thing. We actually started before we moved down here. We've been down here for about 5 years now, but we actually had bought chickens, I want to say like 3 or 4 months before we left Northern Illinois. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we got here, and I don't care what anybody says, chickens are the gateway animal.
Yeah.
Now, I have a ton of chickens. I have goats. I have a cat. I have a dog. The goats are going to have babies end of March. Right now, we have 47 meat birds, and I think 18 egg layers and 3 ducks.
I seen your video on the goat, and I had to go back and rewatch it because Blenda said, well, they went to the school. And I said, well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it at the school. But apparently, if I remember right, you actually didn't show it at the school, the video of the school.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that because I don't want to put anybody else's kids on.
Right.
You know what? Those aren't my kids. I'm not going to video other people's kids. That's just weird.
Blue Collar, Amy's asking from Raising Her Own. They're up in northwest Tennessee.
Yeah, we're about 20 minutes from the Mississippi River, across the river, and you go into Missouri.
Okay. Yeah, y'all right there on the border.
That's always
Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky.
Yeah, we're kind of like right up in that corner.
Yeah.
And I saw Boots and Bonnie says grab a pop-up chair and hang out afterwards. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Go to the hotel, hang out with everybody.
We can go to the hotel.
Yeah. Well, we got our critters too, so in our garden and everything. That's September, so things should be, kind of winding down. The gardening season here is a lot longer than it is up in Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah. But September, you should be able to, there'll probably be a few things. We have the advantage. We have grown kids that are, we have 2 of them that live with us. We have one that's, she's a nurse. So, she goes to a job every day, and then my youngest son is, he's in college, but he works too, when he's not at school, but they're here. They can take care of things. They can, we can leave them, they own their own. They know how to cook and clean and all that. So, anyway, so I can understand. And plus we just got chickens, and they can take care of those. And even if we did not, we got people right around here that would be more than happy to come by. We got some good friends, got some people that care about us. Gathered Together Homestead tells us that we are getting our goat area finished this week and getting our dairy goats soon. Now, y'all Do y'all have dairy goats?
Yes.
Okay.
We have
Registered.
Nigerian dwarf goats. We have 5 of them. We have 3 males and 2 females. One of them's weathered, so he can't reproduce. That was the one that was born here last year.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't really keep any more than that. We have the 5. Whatever babies they have, we have to sell them. We don't have space to keep.
Right.
You know, we're doing all this. We cram all this on just a hair under half an acre. And now it's like, you know, I'm building a deck out back. We got a pool out back. I got all these pens for the animals. I got 2 different gardens back there. And now it's like, we're going to build another pen for the ducks and move the chicken pen over. My yard's going to be shaped like a giant U with all these gardens and animal pens coming around and a small patch of grass in the middle. You know,
at least you won't have much to grow, mow.
No, I'm getting into push mower territory. You know, the mail lady, I was talking to her dropping off the mail, and she's like, I saw you had chickens there, but I never hear anything. I says, don't you worry. I said, the way things are going, by the end of summer, you're going to see my front yard fenced off with a bunch of goats in it. I'm running out of space in the back, you know? So
now, let me ask something. Did y'all both, you come from up around the Chicago area, right?
Yeah.
And you decided to move down to Tennessee. Was that kind of a mutual thing? Y'all seem to work pretty good together. Or did one of you have to leave kicking and screaming?
No. I'll tell you what. Trinity's family's from this area.
Okay.
Her grandparents were born down here. Her mom was born down here.
Okay.
They moved up to Chicago when I think Trin's mom was a baby, and then they worked and all that. Well, everybody retired and went down there. And then, of course, you know, being in Illinois for us, it's just, you get so tired of how expensive everything is. The taxes are out of control. Everything's super expensive. It's just, you know what? We've been here 5 years, and I'll tell you what, life over here is way easier because the state is not, they don't have their hand in your pocket all the time.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I need to come up there then.
Yeah, swing on by.
My heart just went. I heard the door opening. Nobody's supposed to be coming in my house, but my son did.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing with Illinois is we were able to sell our house there, and historically, I buy houses. When I buy a house that's wrecked. I don't buy a nice house.
Well, you had the skills to.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do for a living. I remodel stuff. So, you know, give me the house that's wrecked because I'm going to put what I want to put in my house. Why would I buy a house that's in perfect shape just to tear it apart and put what I want? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Give me the one that's wrecked. So, I mean, we actually bought the house we're sitting in on an online auction that nobody else bid on. Nobody. So
we're out of the rat race.
Yeah, we're out of the rat race. You know, we don't have all these huge bills that everybody else has. We don't do mortgages. We don't do car payments, none of that stuff. So it's a lot easier here. Now, if I was in Illinois, I would be 75 years old by the time I got everything paid off because it's so expensive there.
Right. Now, you may have told me, and I sometimes people tell me I don't hear, but how long ago has it been since you moved?
Almost 5 years.
Oh, it's been 5 years?
Almost, yeah.
I was just wondering, because you got a daughter that's, I don't know how old she is, but she's
12.
12. So she was a good bit younger. A lot of times when a child has to leave, you know, they don't like to leave their friends and all that. And I just wondered how she felt. Hey, Freddie.
At first, she was a little upset about it, but she was
excited.
And
she was sad to, you know, leave her best friend, but otherwise she was pretty excited until school hit, and then she was nervous. But she adjusted pretty well. You know, I have to say she adjusted pretty well down here.
Well, that's good. She seemed like she is the type of person, just from the little bit that y'all show her on your videos, that seemed like she's probably gets along with pretty good with folks and makes friends easy.
She does, and it's funny because even all the stuff we're doing out here with the garden and the animals, I mean, she's right in on all of it. You know,
she's learning.
Yeah, she's out there planting stuff in the garden with us. She's out there taking care of the animals with us and all that other stuff. I mean,
processing meat birds with us.
At this point, I think she knows more about chickens than either one of us.
Don't that just my kids? They learn so much quicker than I do, or retain so much more than I do, I reckon. One thing I wanted to ask, and I finally found it out because I went back to your first video, your island countertop.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks.
If y'all hadn't seen it, go over there and check out Tim and Trinity Blue Collar Homestead. You will see a big, humongous. Well, hello. Hold on just a second. Let me show you. Somebody just walked in.
Oh,
what's happening?
All right. Here, all of a sudden, there's a little boy.
Well, he just stole the show.
He drove by himself, I reckon. No, the rest of them's in there. But that countertop is that is a good looking countertop. It's got the American flag.
Yeah, it took a few minutes to build that, you know.
No, come on.
I had to pour the epoxy on it, you know, so the wood doesn't get damaged. But you can't really see on the video, but all the stars, they're not really stars. They're actually the brass end of a 12-gauge shell.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I used as stars, the brass end of a 12-gauge shell. So there's Federal in there, Remington, and all the other brands, you know.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Something different.
I'll have to look at it a little bit closer next time. Y'all have a freeze dryer.
Yes.
What? I don't know nothing. I live under a rock apparently. But my daughter brought us somebody that she's friends with on her YouTube channel. She's the one that got me into all this YouTube and stuff. But she brought some stuff that this person had freeze dried. It was sweet stuff. I don't know what all it was. And it was pretty, which I'm not that much on that kind of stuff, but my wife and my kids really liked it. And I seen y'all had one. Mm-hmm. And all right, Amy. Amy's got twin daughters. They're like 2 years old. Probably the cutest two little twins that you'll ever see. I mean, they are something. Aww. Anyway, freeze dry. Y'all freeze dry everything, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, the reason we kind of got into that is because you can freeze dry the stuff, stick it in the bag with the oxygen absorber, and some of it will last up to 30 years. I mean, you could store quite a bit of food, which brings us to the one problem we discovered. After you freeze dry it and have all these bags, you got to have somewhere to store this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Well, you can just build something.
I could, but you know what? My house and my property is bursting at the seams. I can't fit a whole lot more, you know?
Hey, we understand. We got so much junk around here. And it's all needed because as soon as I go to throw something away, the moment I can have something and not ever use it for 30 years, not use it a single time. The day I throw it away, the day after I throw it away, gotta have it.
Yep.
Well, you know, I'm running out of space here. I'm going to have to start building up like different levels. You know?
Hey,
like a parking garage.
There you go. The air is free.
Well, for now it is.
Now it is. The one thing that I just really piqued my interest was that pasta making machine.
That thing's awesome.
Is it? Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that is you know, sometimes people put stuff on there and they say, well, this is such a great product, or they take a bite of food. This is the greatest food. And then as soon as the camera shut off, throw it in the garbage, whatever. But
no, the pasta maker works good. The ravioli maker, it does have its quirks to it, but it works fairly well.
Yeah.
But
just no freeze dry it.
They don't know. Freeze dried raviolis didn't work out for us.
I want to try that again. I'm going to try it a different way.
Okay. I know that one time you didn't care for it.
No, it was reconstituting it. It flaked apart and it just didn't work. But
I'm going to try it and steam it.
That might be better
instead of boiling it. So I'm going to give that another try.
Hey, Robert, appreciate you coming in. The
hold on a second.
Sorry.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. I like a little music. What was I going to say? Oh, the pasta maker. It's to me, my wife is gluten intolerant, I guess that's the right terminology.
Yeah.
And I don't like any of that kind of junk. I mean,
You know what?
junk,
We
but
haven't looked into it, but there's probably
There is.
something you can make noodles out of that doesn't have gluten that you can run through that machine. And the funny thing is we got that machine, and I kid you not, at the stores there was like no pasta to be found for a little while. So
really,
yeah, it was kind of. I mean, even right now it's slim pickings. I mean, you might go there for a mastacholi noodle, and all they have is rotini. They don't even have mastacholi or spaghetti. It's all over the place right now. Stores around here, it's kind of weird because we are out in the country, and obviously I still have a lot of family up north.
right?
But stores around here don't seem to have as much product as they usually do. But now when I talk to my brother up north and the rest of my family, nope, everything's fine up here. The stores are fully stocked. There's no problem.
Huh?
Yeah. But recently, I did have two friends say they couldn't find any chicken. And that was like literally like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah, they could not find chicken in the store anywhere. So I don't know. Maybe it's finally starting to affect up there. I mean, we don't live by any major city, so we're probably the last to get the deliveries in. You know. I mean,
I seen a girl, and I'm trying to remember the name of their channel now. My brain just went Abundant Acres Homestead. And she was talking about this avian flu thing that's going around.
I heard about that.
It may cause some issues with the poultry and all that. But all right, Linda, appreciate you coming. Happy Hen Homestead. Hey, MT Homestead. I'm just this is Terry and Teresa from Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. Teresa, if you need to know anything at all about preserve, Angie and Kenny, is that their names? Abundant Homestead, Freddie? I think you're right. I think that's right. But Teresa knows, I think, a little bit of everything as far as the how to preserve things, how to grow things.
I'm gonna step away from that.
She's the way to go. Y'all tag teaming?
No, I had a phone call, and then I don't know what Tim's doing.
I want to pause this.
Oh, he's gonna pause the TV. We have I don't know if you guys remember, but our brother-in-law, he's a police officer. He was shot in November 9 times. He's going to be on Fox News right now, so we're pausing it so we could see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well,
he was shot while he was on duty.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on Fox News here in just a second. So we just want to pause it so we could see him. That's all.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, and if you had to go, that would be fine. I wouldn't want to keep you from seeing something like that.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's what pause is for.
Was it your brother?
No, it's actually my sister's husband.
Your sister's husband.
He's been on the news quite a bit. We've seen it all.
Mostly in the Chicagoland area,
Yeah.
but I think there was some coverage, nationwide. But yeah, he's actually doing really well right now. Other than, it's going to be a slow recovery. So that's all. Okay. Sorry, we didn't mean the interruption.
No,
finally starting to walk again, but he's got a walker, so it's going to be a while. He can't do stairs or anything like that yet.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot mainly in the legs. One went under his vest, like in his back or something. But
yeah,
he's had several surgeries. Several.
Yeah.
So he's just thankfully still alive.
Oh, Teresa, she says it's just to cover up to scare people. Well, it's doing a good job.
Well, you know what? I have 47 meat birds sitting out here that are growing, and I ordered 50. As stupid as this sounds, every time I go to get chickens, like meat birds, when you start doing the math on them, it was cheaper for me to order 50 birds than it was to order like 35.
Yeah.
Because the more you order, the price goes down.
Right.
And it's like I pay for 35. If I go to 50, I'll save 10 or 12 or 15 cents a bird or whatever it is. But, so maybe we'll keep 10 of these back. We'll keep a rooster and 9 hens, and then we'll just get an incubator and start hatching our own meat birds. And it seems like a good idea until I start looking around my yard again, and it's like, you know what? We don't have space. We're running out of room. I need more land, and unfortunately, land right now and real estate is super expensive.
Well, for anyone that doesn't know, we're only on like less than a half acre
Yeah.
of land.
We use every square inch of that backyard.
Yes, we do.
Hold on. I'm sorry. You just got to look, buddy. I apologize. That's my son. He's trying to satisfy my grandbabies in there. I seen a chicken coop the other day. It looked like an actual barn. It was 2 levels. It had, the sides off. I mean, it looked like a barn. I don't know how they afforded to build the thing. Obviously, they wasn't doing it to save money. But it was like the Taj Mahal of chicken coops.
Well, I have some plans to build a new chicken coop, but lumber again. I'm not spending $2,000 to build a chicken coop. That's ridiculous. Lumber's got to come way down before I build it. Right now my chickens are in a metal shed from Lowe's, and even that, I bought that shed 2.5 years ago, I think, for like $300. And right now that same shed is over $500.
I've seen that. I've seen all that's going up.
Yeah.
How big? How long have you had your chicks?
Which ones? The egg layers or the meat
birds.
birds? Oh, the meat birds been
A little over a month.
5 or 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
How long do you raise them?
Well, you know what? These are Ranger chickens, so they take a little longer to grow.
12
The
weeks.
Cornish cross will go for 8 weeks, and then you got to butcher them because they get massively big really quick.
Yeah.
These will
Right.
go an extra 2 or 3 weeks, so you can go 10 to 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
They grow a little bit slower, but we've tried them both, and we kind of like the Ranger chickens better, taste-wise.
Yes.
Do
So-
you Cindy over there said I started by 50 and ended up with 200. My chicken math is terrible.
Oh, chicken meth will get you.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's the gateway animal. You start out with that, then you end up with goats and pigs and everything else, and it just goes crazy from there.
Showing someone who built a coop on a trailer. Can't remember who it was, but it was very nice.
I'd love to do that too, but then again, trailers are expensive right now too. So
Everything's just getting expensive. The meat birds, though, you about halfway through growing them then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we have maybe let's see, probably about 4 more weeks, and they'll
Okay.
be ready to.
yeah, I'd say end of
weeks.
March. When we get towards the end of March, they'll be ready, which
Yeah.
could get a little dicey because that's one of the goats is supposed to have their babies the end of March, and I don't want to have the babies and the chickens that all going at the same
Yes,
time.
we're
So
gonna have to figure out when the goats.
the goats you can tell when they're going to have babies though, so you can
Yeah.
zero in on it pretty good when it gets real close.
Yeah.
We had I think it was a Nigerian dwarf goat. It was a little one. Somebody had given it to my daughter. It's been several years now, but it was a nanny. I guess that's what you call a mama goat.
Yeah.
She was pregnant, and of course we didn't know anything about goats. I never had a goat in my life, but she had two babies. One of them died. She had them while we was gone to town or something, and we got back, and one of them was already dead, and the other one lived. And hey, Rebecca, appreciate you coming. And Deborah's back. But anyway, we give the mama goat away to some people. A little girl down the road wanted it, and of course she kept it. She dressed it up and clothes and everything else. And
Of course.
but we kept the small one. It was the cutest little thing. Stunk once it got older, but it was the cutest little thing. It would stand on her back. We called it Marvin. It's kind of a joke. We'll see, Stephen. Yeah, get on back to work. Make some money. But this little goat thought it was a dog. It run around with our dogs all the time and the neighbors' dogs. And it'd go across the road. We had an elderly gentleman that lived over. He's done passed on now. But he was my buddy. I used to go there and drink coffee or sit with him while he drank coffee, and we'd watch ball games. He was my buddy. But anyway, this little goat every morning at 5:30 would go over there to his porch and walk on his porch. He said he'd wake me up every morning at 5:30. I'd hear that goat going across.
Yep.
Well,
But he got up early anyway. It wasn't waking him up.
Goats are a herd animal, though. So, I mean, if you didn't have any other goats, that's why they were hanging out. The goat was hanging out with all the dogs and everything else.
Yeah.
They're herd animals. They usually don't do well by themselves.
No.
People would laugh. He'd be there with the dogs, and he'd just run around. You'd think he was a dog, but
Yeah.
we did give it away because the neighbor's dogs started thinking he was a chew toy,
Oh.
and and I was scared that he was going to get hurt, and so we give it away to some people that had a farm. She raised goats, as a matter of fact, and so she kept him over there. He was in hog heaven. He got to sire a bunch of children. Hey, buddy.
Well, that works.
I heard
Well,
a little noise.
unfortunately, we can't keep our goats. The ones that the babies, we got to sell them. So we don't have space to keep them all. So.
Well, look, I generally go about an hour, and I'm kind of distracted. I get things. I got my little tiny people come over, kind of got me distracted, and I apologize for that so
That's all
much.
right.
Family first.
And I know y'all probably want to go watch your brother-in-law make the news. That's not really the way you want to make the news, I don't think. But I guess if whatever way you do, you at least you want to go see them.
Well, at least he made the news alive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least he's that's true. Well, Tim and Trinity, I appreciate y'all coming on. I wish I was a better host.
No, you did fine. You did perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
I wish I was able to I guess, draw out more and let you speak more. I tend to overspeak people. I don't know if that's making any sense.
No.
You were absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you did a good job. You did fine.
But look, I wanted to have y'all on. Y'all were one of the first ones I watched. Y'all were one of the first ones that actually kind of done any kind of interacting. And then y'all had the chili cook-off, the contest thing. And I found that through Living the Height Life, off Megan and Kenneth over there and their little boy. I appreciate that, Cindy. Yeah, don't y'all hit that like button. But I found that through them. And anyway, through that, I got on y'all. Y'all were very, very kind to us through all that. And I appreciate that very, very much. I had a blast making the video. And
We know you did.
That video was pretty
It was
funny.
great.
I get bored very, very easily, obviously. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all. I appreciate you coming on. I wanted to meet you kind of face to face, kind of.
Yeah.
And seemed like you get a little bit more closer relationship. I don't. Again, words fail me. I'm getting old. I don't have my thinking hat on.
Well, you know what? Maybe you'll make that trip up to Kentucky in September. Maybe we'll actually be able to meet up there. We'll see what happens. You know, I mean.
But we enjoyed being on your live today.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting us.
Teresa asked if you're going to do it again.
I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe.
No, I think so.
Yeah, probably. I might have to make the spoon myself this time, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll do a better job than I did.
Well, you know, it's funny. The guy I work with has a wood lathe like the one you got. He's like, I only used that thing one time. It's been sitting here for like 15 years.
Really?
Yeah. The only reason he bought it was his dad gave him one of those cuckoo clocks,
Yeah.
But the box for it was all just mangled. So he rebuilt the entire box to look like the original.
Right.
And he needed a wood lathe to turn all these little spindles that were on the box.
Yeah.
So he rebuilt it, and it looks perfect. You would never know that it was a recreation of the original. So he did that, rebuilt the clock. The clock's in his house. It hasn't used the lathe since, but
I love mine. I do. Which I make like deer calls and turkey calls, and I made a few bowls. I don't care much for making bowls and stuff like that. But I've turned some legs. I've turned some handles, like for some a friend of mine needed some handles for his sledgehammer like thing. Anyway, I done got to talking again, and I'm going to run over my time, but I do appreciate very, very much that y'all would come on and take time out of your life to hang out with old Chuck.
Thanks
And,
for having me.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Do you make house calls, Chuck? You don't want me to make a house call. Actually, I do got some kinfolk over there, but it's been a long time since I've been over into the Channelview or Houston area. Rather, you live a little south of Houston. But I've done been saying, hey, this is a Southern goodbye. We say it 100 times. Thank y'all so much. And thank everybody in the chat for coming, and appreciate all y'all's kindness. And I wish I had a better way to express all that. But for right now, I'm going to visit my grandbabies.
Well, have fun.
Well, have a good day, everybody. And I'm sure we'll pop up on another live or one of our own at some point. So we'll catch everybody then.
All right. Looking forward to it. We'll talk to y'all later. Everybody have a good day.
Bye.